So I'm standing here with Rich and Ryan. We're just doing kind of a quick interview. We're super stoked about talking about this restaurant that is opening soon. Why specifically did you want to go Clarendon Hills and specifically this place? What kind of...
Well, I've lived in Clarendon Hills now for going on 12 years. We've had some restaurants here in this spot. You know, going back when I moved in, it was a French restaurant. That's always tough to, you know, that's a destination restaurant. And, you know, I don't even know if I ever ate there, but through the years, we've had some other restaurants pop up. We had some tacos here in the same spot. I think we've had some things that have kind of missed the mark. And you have a nice group of people here in Clarendon Hills that are willing to spend money. We just haven't been able to deliver. And I think what we're gonna do here is hopefully gonna check a lot of the boxes for the families here in town.
So when you came up, I know you guys circled around concepts and ideas for names. I'm sure it was well thought out. How'd you come up with, and what is the name of the restaurant?
The name is Il Mio, which means mine in Italian, but ultimately it's for the town. It's ours. It's the town's, you know, we were struggling with what name to go with, and my daughter, actually, we were sitting at dinner, my family, and having dinner, and my daughter was just like, you know, on her computer. I didn't know what she was doing. All of a sudden she said the name, you know, and I'm like, it kind of stuck, you know. So then I talked to Ryan and you know, the other partner, Gabby, and it's just a name that I think matches what we're trying to do, because we're trying to do something for the town. Because like Ryan says, there's been a lot of, you know, a lot of concepts here, but nothing's really stuck. So we want to do something like that, and we, you know, you got Downers Grove, you got LaGrange, you got Hinsdale. Everyone is vibrant downtown for restaurants, and there's not much in Clarendon Hills, and I think the residents of Clarendon Hills deserve something. I really believe that this town is a beautiful town. The location's great, the facility, I mean, the structure is great. Like, why not? So sure. I think the name just was, you know, once it came up, I think it was just easy.
All right, so if you could send one message to the community right now as we're speaking pre-opening, what would it be? What messaging do you want to get out there to people?
For me, I think it's, again, goes back to giving them something in town that they can be proud of, something that we're going to be definitely proud of. We're going to put our heart and souls into it. And the town deserves it, in my opinion, being such a beautiful town and being next to all these beautiful towns. Like, so for me, getting something out there is we're going to give everything we got. We're going to give all the hospitality we can. We're going to give you the best product, and we're going to give you a value, you know. So to me, what else, like Ryan said, check the box. I don't know what other box to check as far as, you know, restaurants go. We're going to do something a little different. It's not going to be like tablecloth, red sauce, big portion Italian. We want shareable. We want you to come in, have a couple drinks, order some appetizers. You know, it's your place. Come in, meet someone, have an event, whatever it may be, but it's not, we don't want to be a special occasion place. We want to be an everyday place. We want, you know, people getting off the train, come and have a drink before they go home, grabbing a bottle of wine, grabbing some food, or just coming in, you know, just to meet up. You know, hey, we got a, you know, board meeting, let's go over to Il Mio and talk about it. We just want to be for the community.
Well, for my wife and I think this is what drove us to the, you know, a small plate concept. My wife and I, we used to frequent Cortino in the city, but I mean, when we go out here, we typically like to just share things. So, I mean, we're gonna have sausage and peppers, flatbreads.
Meatballs and polenta. I mean,
and we're gonna have some pasta dishes, but they're gonna be specialty dishes, and you're not gonna get spaghetti and meatballs. You're gonna get, you know, a little gnocchi with, you know, some kind of vodka sauce.
So I think one of the questions I believe people want to know is, with the shortage of hospitality workers, what's the plan, and how do you see working with our current environment to roll it out and do a great job with service and that sort of thing? 'Cause our community is very forgiving and understanding, especially with workers being very difficult to find. But what are your thoughts on the current environment and how we do that?
Well, I've been in this industry a long time, and clearly no one has seen something like this in a lot of ways, right? From you got supply chain issues to inflation to now labor. It goes back to relationships. It goes back to, you know, your contacts. I mean, yeah, you gotta, you know, we have to go and do social media hiring and things like that. It's a challenge, it's a huge challenge. It's nice that we're not that big, that we don't need 1 million employees, but ultimately it comes down to training. So you can hire a good employee, but it's about how they're trained. So one part is getting an employee on board, but to me, most importantly, is getting trained to what we're gonna do. Yes, I understand customers are understanding and I appreciate that, but that's not acceptable to me.
Yeah.
They're walking into my house, they're gonna get the best service and the best food they can possibly get. If I have to do it myself, I know that's my mentality, because you're coming in, you're spending money, there's no excuse. I understand the labor issue, and I appreciate that customers have a little more understanding, but to me, that doesn't make it, because a lot of people use it as an excuse.
Well, and I think too, if you train them correctly and they can do, you give them all the tools that they need to be successful. I mean, nobody wants to be thrown into a situation where you're, you know, it's an uphill battle. That's not fun. And so, you know, you give them something that they can feel like they belong, they have the tools to use, and you know, that goes into retaining the people. And so you're not having a revolving door of employees, and
Right.
you know, they just get better over time. So
I didn't ask you this before, Rich, but what is your background in the restaurant industry? I know you have a long history,
Yeah.
just briefly.
Well, briefly, I have a culinary degree. I graduated from Kendall back in 1993.
Okay.
I was working for my family's business, Iconic Steakhouse, since that time, 1993, until recently, 2018. I was briefly with Rosebud, and this opportunity came up for me, and I love the opportunity, so.
Yeah, great. With the precautions in place with patrons since opening during COVID, carry out, dine in, mask requirements. I know that's a trick question because who knows where we're going with it, but just to keep people safe, what are your thoughts?
So obviously we have to follow what the government's telling us what to do. We can't, you know, going against them will not be good for us. But we definitely have spent a lot of time discussing carryout. Actually, where we're standing right here, this is going to be set up with shelving for carryout for people that call in. You know, we're hoping for people to get off the train and, hey, I need honey pick up dinner. So this is going to be set up for people that call in orders. We also set up our back door to have shelving there. So when we end up selecting some kind of delivery service, they can use the back door and they're not clogging up the front area here. So, and we've worked on packaging. We got bags. I mean, we've we've gone through the list. So
Yeah, I mean, I think you had to pivot during the pandemic, and I think it's here to stay. You know, that whole carry-out, takeout is here to stay. So I think we developed our menu, our concept, our structure, our building based on that. Also, you know, it's about cleanliness, it's about sanitation, it's about, we are gonna do whatever the CDC recommends to keep everyone safe, including us.
Yeah.
Right? The guests, the employees, us, I mean, we want everyone to be safe, so.
Yep.
I forgot this important part too. The village was very nice because obviously Len Austin signed an executive order last year with COVID where you could take bottles of wine or cocktails out of the off premise, which up until that point our liquor license is not allowed for that. But they've actually been gracious, and we're going to do a similar thing going forward. So when you get your takeout, if you are running low on red Chianti, we can get you hooked up. So.
Very good.
A couple bottles.
Yeah.
So I almost need a drum roll for this last question. You know what it's going to be. People are asking, they ask me all the time, what do you think the date's going to be? When are we going to start?
I don't know. The guy running around over here in the green shirt, he's our in-house GC. So I think we're on track. We can do October. I think we've not really started hiring just for the fact that this place is still, there's a lot to be done. But I mean, we're getting finishes in now, so I think.
Yeah, we want to do it right, so we don't want to push it, but we do want to push it, you know. So I agree with Ryan, you know, we're really hoping that October is, you know, the time, and it looks like we can, but we can't commit to a date, not yet.
Right. Well, that's a great answer from me. If it's got October in it, maybe that's fantastic.
Yeah, we wanted July, but.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think too, back to your question about the labor market and how we're I think things are lightening up there. The subsidies that have been going out to people, hopefully I think those are done this month, and we can, maybe some of those people will be coming back into the workforce, and we can use that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's all about the relationship, getting those people that trust you and all that. So as we fade away here in this quick interview, I want to do maybe a quick run around, maybe another 10 seconds on showing the space. Is that okay? The way it
Yeah,
is?
yeah, that's fine. So here we are at the entry. You're gonna see probably the biggest change if you were ever in the previous location. The bar used to be on this whole wall, and it was a dark place. Now it's bar front and center. We've added a bunch of skylights in here to lighten things up as it was dark before. Bunch of brick on the wall. We have banquet seating, so we can sit between 2 and 22 people if you want it.
I love this space right here. You can put tables together or spread them out.
You know, if one of your friends comes in, you can add them to your table maybe. Food's in the back. Some more tables that can be configured into different size parties right in this area. And then we'll have high tops in the front, so.
Can we show off the front of the bar real quick?
Sure. And then we will have TVs in here, so if you come here for Sunday for your brunch and you want to pick up that first part of the Bears game, we'll have the Bears game on. Or Saturday for college football.
So this is where you almost walk into the door. You actually have these doors behind us, and those can be open at times?
Correct. They're all new. It's a whole new door system, and they will totally stack on both sides of the restaurant.
So this is the money shot right there. You've got skylights up above. Got this like Starship Enterprise awesome piece to showcase the bar. How many seats will be around the bar?
22.
Wow, fantastic. And you see the work continues. All right, thank you.